Fellas, how are we today? Hold on, I forgot to get the music up. Let me do that. Let me do that. There we go. Much better. Hello, everyone. How are we today? Hello, welcome. So I found out something wonderful today. Sky's here. We got Sky down here today with us. And I found this music's really loud. And I found out that my dog is really stupid. Here, come here. Hold on. If we're gonna talk what you want to hear, come here. Sky, come here. I can see you over there. Hold on. Hello, goofball. Alright, you. So. What? Oh. Genius. Such a smart dog. Alright, so. This little stinker right here. Sorry. There we go. This little stinker, I found out, is very dumb. And I had a little bit of a scare this morning because I accidentally left out a small bowl of Reese's peanut butter cups, like the mini ones, right? It was a really small bowl, but it freaked me out because I left it out, and I didn't know if she was into it or not. So, that had me worried all morning. I was like, should I cancel stream and take her to the vet? I'm not sure. I didn't, obviously, because we're here, but I did a test to see if she could actually get to the spot that the Reese's peanut butter cups were at. So I took one of her favorite treats. It is this little, like, dental treat bar thing that she loves. She loves them so much. And I put it in the bowl, and I put it in the exact same spot. And she just sat there staring at it. And I picked it up. I'm like, hey, look, it's right here. I'll put it back in the bowl. She would almost go for it, then stop and look at me. You would just look at me. Why would you? I don't know why you did that. Like, I think she very much could have gotten to it, but I don't think she realized there was anything in the bowl the second my hand left it. So I don't think she got into the chocolate. Because she just kept looking at me. I don't think she knew there was anything in the bowl. Once it's in the bowl, it vanished. What's that like object permanence? I don't even know her name. Her name is Sky, and she's the best. But, so, that happened this morning, which was a scare. I'm gonna keep an eye on her. Make sure there's nothing weird going on. Even if she did get chocolate, it wasn't much. It was just a little bit. It was just a wee bit, so I think she'll be okay. But, hopefully she's fine. On top of that, I found out that she has no sense of self-defense whatsoever, because I gave her another small treat right before stream. I held it high above her head, and she was looking up at it. She was, like, jumping for it. I drop it, and it hits her in the head. She doesn't look down right away and is still looking at my hand and just kind of goes, oh, and then gets the treat. So stupid. You're so stupid. Her name is Sky. She's about 4. She's about 4 years old. Oh, you are so stupid. Yes, you are. Alright, you can go free. I've told my story. You can go free. There you go. Hi! Hello! Anyways, so that's the Sky story for today. That's what she's been up to. She's a very intelligent little creature who absolutely knows what day it is today. Without question. You could ask her anything about what day it is, so you should know. But chat! fellas! Today we got a fun thing to do today. We've got something very enjoyable to do today. We have got... Hold on. Close a few things here. We have got... this little thing to do. Some of you will remember this from last time we did this. As you'll notice, there's a lot more people here. A lot more. There's so many more. So much more. Unbelievable amounts more. We need to rank each creator here on how many helpies they could take down. How many? I don't know. I don't know how many. I know that they're British, it's instant death, yeah, pretty much. So, but first, let's make the tiers here. Let's make the tiers. A lot of these come from 5gens. Or Sleigh Bells. Or Jericho's Tournament. Or any of the above. A lot of them. So, we got a lot more people now. Which is really cool. We gotta have a way bigger list. So let's make the list quick. So, S tier. It's absolutely no helpy can hold them down. Not one. Not a single helpy could hold them down. A tier. Pretty solid. Not to the level of the last one, but I would say falls after round 100. At that point, it gets too much. They collapse. It's GG. B tier, perfect middle of the road. Solid 50. Solid 50. C tier, does alright. Chokes later. And then put in brackets, 10 rounds of helpies. And F tier, first round, down and out. Alright, so. I don't think we need any more tiers. Actually, I should probably put solid 50 rounds. There we go. Oh, so let me put a little information thing at the top here. The little information one right here. Not that. What? No. Hold on. Gray here. 1 round equals 10 helpies. I think we'll be a bit nicer today. I think the last times we were too cruel. Some people can only handle 1 helpy. I don't believe in that. I think that's wrong. I don't think there's a single person who couldn't handle 1 helpy. So, that's our information tier right here. And we got our actual tiers here. So, first round, down and out. First 10 helpies, dead. It's over. Does alright, chokes later. 10 rounds of helpy, that's about 100 helpies. Yeah. Yeah, they'd choke. Solid 50 rounds. What is that, 500 helpies? Not too bad, not too bad. Pretty good, pretty good. Fights a while. Falls after round 100. 1,000 helpies? Man, that's good! That's good, that's good! And then these guys are still going as we speak. They're still going. They are still going. Going strong. Alright. Let's start from the bottom this time. And we got our one of our favorite British people. Compound Zebra, Connor. Now, the question is, does the British debuff still apply? Does the British debuff still apply? Because what I'm thinking is if this is round 2, this is canon to the first one. This is canon. So does that mean that they've improved? Have they honed their craft and gotten stronger? Do you know how powerful the Helpy is? Oh, we can imagine the Helpy's like the strength of like a smiling critter in Poppy playtime. Like, they're small, but in numbers, they'll do alright, which is why rounds are 10 Helpies. So that's the big question. That mean ranged weapons are banned? Yeah, in this idea, this is like a gladiator ring. So, like, they are stuck in a cage with the Helpies. So, Pizza Sim Ball Pit minigame Helpy? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, this this tier list being canon to the original one with some new faces, have they learned? Have they improved their craft? Now, here, my defense for Connor Compound Zebra is simple, okay? I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to bring it up right here for you, okay? If we go back to the original video, where is it? Right here. Look what this guy can do. Look what this guy can do. Connor edited part of this video for me, because he's a homie. But look what this guy can do to a small creature.
Also, I don't really know why
Watch
I'm here.
this.
I guess I'm just editing for the wrong David today. Anyway, as
Watch
I'm
this.
here, I may as well show you how I would actually deal with the Helpies.
Look, he gives us proof. Look at that kick! It's gone! It's gone! Crow? That's strong. That's strong. I think out of all the British people on this list, I think Connor could do a solid 50 rounds. That kick, he's got that power leg. He got that. Oh, it's gone. It's out of there. It's gone. Solid 50. I think Connor's got it. I think Connor's got it. Okay. Okay. I think solid 50 rounds right there. Absolutely. Wambu. I think Wambu might be one of the nicest people I've met in my life. I don't think they would survive. Purely because of how nice they are. I don't think they'd want to hurt the Helpies. And we'll just let it happen. They're too cute. Helpy's cute, so I can't even blame him. Like, Helpy's a cute little guy. I would grab him and squish him and throw him against the wall. So, you know what? We're going to make a new tier. We're going to make a specific tier for far too nice to do any damage. Just like that. That's where Wambu goes, I think. Pacifist? Exactly. Exactly. What did they befriend the Helpies, and now they have a Helpy army? We had a tier for that before, and I think we'll bring that back. I think that's a good one to bring back. Hold on. Switches teams. And leads... Yep. Leads the Helpies. Make that pink. Nice and bright pink. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Fantastic. So. Walug. Now, for people that I don't know as well, we're going to be using their 5 gens at Freddy's performance / other performances to judge them. Okay? I think Walug will go 10 rounds of Helpy. I think Walug will go 10 rounds of Helpy. I think so. I think so. I think they would do all right, but something would go wrong later on the road. I don't know what they could be. I don't know what it could be. I don't got any ideas for you. I think something will go wrong. And the Helpy will get behind him. Helpy will drop him from the stadium, from the ceiling, and distract him. And he'd be dose. Just like that. I think it'll be over. Vonnie? I think Vonnie's the same case, but would last a little longer. Solid 50 rounds, I think. Solid 50 rounds. Vonnie did well in 5 gens. I think they've got the mind for it. I think they'd handle it, but I think it'd be a solid 50 rounds. I don't think it'd be any higher than that. Unique Geese. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Mason. Strong guy. Tough guy. Made Indigo Park. Making another one. That's pretty good. The mental's there. The mental's there to keep making games. That's strong. That's hard to do. But he also did do Ban Reincarnated. He actually made a Ban game that was actually somewhat okay. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Can't even hold you there. It's pretty good. Where would I put Mason? Where would I rank Mason? You know what I see happening? You know, that's my first picture. You know what's my first picture in my mind of Mason? I'm thinking I'm thinking round 100. I see it. I see him fighting. I see him powerful. Hanging in there, but round 100, it's just getting too much. It's getting too much, and he crumbles. But that's good. That's good. That's solid. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Point deduction simply for Ban Ban. If he was still making Ban Ban games, maybe. But it was a test, so I'll give him that. Underscore. I don't know underscore well enough. So we're going to go off of some performance. I think underscore would do solid 50. I think they're pretty good at the things they do. They're pretty good at games. They make good theories. They got the brain for it. I think they'd keep clocked in. They'd keep locked in. Heavy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've met Oh yeah in person. I've seen him. He's tall. He's big. And he'd probably kill me. I think it's around 100. He's scary. He's a big guy. Very tall. He's almost as tall as Zach. It's actually scary. They're literally almost the same height. Oh yes, huge. Oh yeah, it's huge. So I think you'd handle it, no problem. But maybe the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Maybe a Helpy would hit him right smack in the face and just, and it'd be over him. It'd be gone. So maybe there's an argument to be made there. How tall is Zach? Zach's like 6'4". Or 6'3", one of the two. I forget exactly. Yeah, Zach's tall. Very tall. How could be taller than a 9-foot eldritch horror demon? I don't know. Alright. Okay. Dapper Waffle. I mean, like, is there any question? Like, I feel like this was a pretty easy one. I don't think there's anything Dapper Waffle won't rise up to the challenge to do. I think that's our first no Helpy can hold them down. I genuinely don't think a Helpy's could stop him. I think it'd be so easy for him, he would genuinely just set up the auto clicker and go play Mario 64 while the Helpy's jump at him, and he just starts doing this. Like, you know that clip from JJK of Nalia doing like the hair with the... That's what he would be doing. He would literally do that in real life. He'd be like playing Mario 64 speedruns, getting a pretty good time, and just like... just slapping them away. It'd be over. I don't think there's anything stopping him. I think that's going to be one of our few no Helpies can hold them down. Hopefully by doing nothing. Exactly. It'd be over. It'd be over. There's no help in that. His fingers are probably enough to defeat the Helpies. I'd just be like... It'd be crazy. It'd be so strong. Tetrabit. I think Tetrabit's pretty middle of the road. I think pretty safe. I think, I think it'd be... I think 10 rounds. I think Tetrabit's got 10 rounds. Absolutely got 10 rounds. If you're misunderstood what kind of brawl this is, I feel it's just a full-on brawl. Yeah, no, it's rounds of Helpies. I think 10 rounds. I think 10 rounds Tetrabit would go, and then something would happen. It would just kind of go wrong. That's generally going to be the assumption for 10 rounds, is that they're doing all right, but they don't count for, like, a random strategy that one of the smarter Helpies might pull off, like jumping from the ceiling, or, like, biting their ankles, or tackling them somehow. Or just something would go wrong that they did not account for, and they would go down for it. I think that's going to be it. Sin. I think it'll be our first team switcher. I genuinely do not see a world that Sin would fight the Helpies, yet want to fight someone. I do not see that world. I think Sin would absolutely join the Helpies and turn. And just go fight someone else. Absolutely. 100% without question. There's so many people in this list that I don't recognize. Honestly, fair. Yeah, no, I think so. I think so. Supas. I don't know Supas too well. But for the time they had to play DBD, they did pretty well. I think Supas would fall to around 100. I think Supas got around 100. Absolutely. I mean, they played Fast Fredbear. Like, that's strong. That's pretty strong. It's Fast Fredbear. Like, he's fast. That's the whole point. I think anyone who can beat Fast Fredbear, I think he's gonna handle it just fine. Just fine. Fast Fredbear. I think he's got it. Anyone can escape a ghoul game, and DVD can escape anything in life. Exactly. Okay, I was thinking about the ghoul game and last one. All right, Ellie. I think solid 50 rounds. I think easy middle of the road. Easy middle of the road. 50 rounds. Just a good 50 rounds, maybe 55, maybe 45. Somewhere in there, but I think that's all that's gonna happen. I don't think it gets any crazier than that. Okay. Fantastic. Hold on. Let me just 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I didn't put in the Twitch title. I'm gonna do that really quick. I didn't mention it before, but today will be a very short stream. This is a stream to make a video out of, if that wasn't clear. This stream will be very short. I don't see it being more than an hour, because I have a lot of things to do today. I'm going to... It's actually kind of cool. There's a job fair happening in my town right now. I mean, not right now, in about, like, 2 hours, an hour or so. And just for a bit of info on the Baron life, I am looking into genuinely being a 911 dispatcher. I think it'd be super cool. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna go talk to them today. So that's why it's gonna be short today. I'm gonna go talk to them. Either that or no, wait for it. You know who else could be at the job fair? It's crazy. There's a casino there. Imagine if I worked at a casino. That'd be crazy. People would lose so much money. I'd scam them all. No, I wouldn't. I would not. But but I'm gonna go talk to both of them today. And hey, I could, within the next like few weeks, I could come back ranking callers by how many helpies they compete. I don't know if I'd want to do that. But hey, maybe I could be a 911 dispatcher. I think that'd be a pretty crazy job to talk about. That'd be pretty crazy. There'd be some scary stories that I probably wouldn't share, and there'd probably be some funny ones. Probably there'd be some. I think it'd be a pretty crazy life. So hey, that's why it's a short stream today. So yeah, there's a little tidbit for you. Anyways, Squeaks Decor Game, creator of Shipwrecked. You know what? I think I gotta be mean. I gotta be cruel. I gotta be cruel and unfair. I gotta be the cruel and unfair dictator that everyone knows me as. Sorry, Squeaks. Just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I don't think you'd handle it. Mainly because you won't release free spaces. For everyone who doesn't know, because there's no way anyone knows about this. Freaky Spaces is a game that Squeaks and one of their buddies made for fun. And me, Joner, Zach, Micaiah, Noah, we all played it. And it's really fun. But Squeaks refuses to work on it and make it into something beautiful. And I'm mad at him about it. So, until that happens, first round, you're cooked, man. You're cooked. Release Freaky Spaces. Snaspy. I've met Snaspy recently. And we have bonded over our shared hatred of Vegemite. So, I think 100 rounds. I think he's got my favor. I think he's got my favor. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. We're back. Oh, okay. Vegemite? Oh yeah, Vegemite. It's the worst. Vegemite's terrible. I don't care what the ever so well known Vegemite ambassador Jericho Games has to say about it. It's terrible. It's awful. Oh man. Ugh. L condiment or whatever it's called. I don't know if it's a condiment or not. I don't even know what it is. It's some awful creation of like the dark world. I don't know. Terrible thing. Terrible thing. Anyway, so yeah, we both hate it. We both hate it, and we make fun of it, and I usually go for that. So 55. I mean, he did all right in the tournaments, but I think the real merit here, the real merit to consider, is the fact that a while back he played FNAF 1 for like, what was it? I don't know if was it one shot? It might have been one shot. I think he played FNAF 1 for 6 full hours. Like that takes dedication. That takes spirit. He did a real FNAF 1 shift. So I think it falls up to around 100. I think that deserves merit. Absolutely deserves merit. I think that'd be top of this, honestly. I think it'd be this. Then oh yeah. Then I think, yeah, this is good. This order's good. I think 75, then oh yeah, then Mason, then Supas, and Snaspy. Absolutely. Without question. Without question. Rye toast. Rye toast. You know, when Rye toast locks in on something, Rye toast gets it done. Rye toast gets whatever it needs to be done. Gets it done good. I think Rye toast would do a solid 50 rounds. I think it'd be middle of the road. I think 50 rounds is like the perfect medium. Is that they are not going to get folded, but they won't excel. They're going to do as expected. They'll be like, yeah, they'll do all right. They'll do fine. They'll do good. And then they'll go out when things get a little dicey. I think they'll do fine. Raz just kind of gives that vibe of like... Raz gives a vibe of like, how do I put it? How do I put it? Like potential fighter, you know? Potential fighter. I think Raz would absolutely, out of nowhere, just start clobbering them. Without question. Just kind of gives that vibe, you know? It's not even like they've done something to prove it. I just kind of feel it. Yeah, you know, I just kind of feel it. I feel like it would be 100. I think 100. I think above these two, no, above, I think second in falls after around 100. I think absolutely. It's a vibe. It's absolutely a vibe. Random Stuff Gaming. 10. I think 10. I think the vibe is 10. I think they'd do okay. They'd do all right. But then they'd fall. Something drastic would happen. Something terrible would happen. But they would fall, I think. Absolutely. Absolutely. Quinn. Quinn's mean. Quinn could definitely... Quinn could tank a few. I think Quinn would find the idea of Helpy's far too funny though and get distracted with that. I think the absolute absurdity of fighting waves with Helpies would get to them, and they'd just be like, I'm done. I can't. I think it'd be around 50. I think the sheer absurdity would absolutely just make them start giggling and just would not be able to take it seriously, and then they would mess up. I think that's what would be it. Puffalo. Now, there's 2 DVD creators on here that are here for honorary purposes only. They are not DVD, or not DVD, yeah, they're not DVD creators. They're not FNAF YouTubers. So, we need to do a special one for them. Tries to loop the Helpies. I mean, what else are they gonna do? Like, what? That's like what they do. That's what they know. They're gonna try it. They're gonna try it. They're not even gonna consider the fact that they can fight back. They're gonna see a monster, and they're gonna look for a pallet. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna equip their perks in the changing room before the arena. They're gonna try and equip Dead Hard. I know it. It's just what's gonna happen. I don't make the rules. I do. I don't care about the rules. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be what's gonna happen. Yeah, they're gonna sprint burst. They're gonna loop the Helpies. They're gonna do it. Plenty. Now we all saw Plenty's crazy plays in 5 gens. We saw it. We all saw it. Brother's sneaky. He's clever. And I think that cleverness will bring him to round 100. I think that cleverness will bring him up there. Absolutely. Bring him up there. You know what? I think we need to drop a few out of round 100. I think round 100 is getting a little too bloated. And I think we're gonna nerf Mason down to 50. Top of 50, but 50. And I think we're gonna nerf. Underscore to 10. I think we're gonna nerf a few. Phil. Now, last time when we consider this canonically, Phil was in no Helpies can hold them down. But I don't know if that's the case anymore. I think Phil. Fizz might just insult the Helpies. I think Phil would absolutely go 10 rounds. And here's what I think would happen, okay? Here's the picture, okay? Here's the picture. Phil would go psycho for the first 10 rounds. He'd do really well. He'd do good. He'd do solid. But the Helpies are clever. And especially after the last Resident Evil stream that Phil did, the last one he played, Requiem, he's got weak spots. The Helpies will abuse that. They'll take out a cardboard cutout of Leon S. Kennedy. They'll bring him out. They'll put him right in front of him. And they'll break it. They'll break it in 2. He'll break down crying. It's over. They'd get him. They'd get him right there. He's got weakness. We've seen it. They could make him cry. They could get him to break down to distract him even for that moment. And a moment's all it takes. A moment, it's over. Zach. I think Zach originally was first round. But Zach's changed a lot in the last while. And I genuinely think Zach could not be stopped. When Zach gets going, they're going. They're going and they're not stopping. I think Zach would unleash the demon. Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. I think something would have changed from the last one. Something would have changed. That embarrassment of losing first, that would provoke him. That would provoke him heavy. And he would stomp. He would absolutely stomp. 100%. Partly cloudy. Oh, partly cloudy. Partly cloudy. Where do we put you? Where do we put you? I think partly cloudy. I think partly cloudy. It's between these two right now. I think 100 help is a little too much. I don't think he could do that. But I think 50 rounds, I think he'd handle it. I think 50 rounds he'd be good, and then he would just get too tired. He'd be done. It'd be over for him. I think it's simple. I don't think there's any nuance to it. Any like, oh, but this particular situation. No. No. I think this is exactly what would happen. 50 rounds, and it's over. That's it. Ordinarily average. I think it's the same situation as Quinn, yet average isn't as feisty as Quinn, so I think it'd be 10 rounds. I think 10 rounds in, average would just start cackling over the absurdity of fighting Helpies. That's going to be a few people's weakness in here. I can already point out a few people right now that their weakness will be the fact that they are fighting an army of Helpies, and that would absolutely just kill them. That is going to be the weakness of quite a few people in here. Nipple Nick. I think we need a new tier for Nipple Nick. Oh, hold on. Wait. I think we need a new tier. Goes and climbs a mountain. There's no other reality. There's not one other reality. He just goes and climbs a mountain. I think he's the only one that would just... You know what? Actually, no. Even better. Climbs out of the arena and escapes. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not. I'm not wrong. Absolutely would just climb out of the arena and escape. Without question. Without question. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Raven. I don't know Raven crazy well. So, I think they do alright. I think they do fine. I think middle of the road, they do okay. I think they do fine. Something will go wrong. Julian, however... Julian. I think Julian would switch teams. I think Julian would absolutely switch teams. 100%. 100%. Faced with the Helpies, you know what he'd do? Here's the setup, okay? Here's the setup. Julian. Standing over here, right? Helpies. Over here. They're coming in waves. They're coming in waves. They're coming fast. Julian, like in an anime, puts his hand up and summons a Guess Who board. They all get distracted. They start playing. They become friends. They become homies. He switches teams. That's what would happen. That's what would happen. I'm just telling you, that's what would happen. Julian would switch teams. He'd become best friends with him because Julian's awesome, and he'd switch teams. Absolutely. Minaxa, also don't know that well, but they did good in the speedrun tournament. So I think a solid 50 rounds. I think a solid 50 rounds. Milk in the microwave will keep you for later. There's someone that you need to go with. Micaiah. Now, last time Micaiah switched teams. I don't know how true that is anymore. I don't know how true that is. Makai's pretty good at games that he plays. He's pretty solid at them. He's alright at them, even, you could say. He's alright at them. Some might even say he's pretty decent. So I think 50 rounds. I think 50 rounds, absolutely. Solid 50 rounds? I might need to punt the little guy plushie at a different castle? Hey! I defended you. Originally, you were going to get the British debuff. But I said, no, look at that punt. Did you see that punt? It went gone. I defended you there, alright? I defended you there. I gave you this. Solid 50 rounds of Helpies. Every round is one Helpie. So you take on 500 Helpies before going down. That's good. That's good. That's good. Alright. I'm gonna put you right up here. There we go. I gave you credit for that punt. That was a good punt. That was a very good punt. Mainans. Mainans is Australian. Australians are well known to be absolutely crazy. I don't think I could put an Australian any lower than 50. I think it'd be 100. Everyone knows that Australians are insane. Every single one of them. So, absolutely, 100. Without question. Quite? The tough one. The tough one. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. Huh. Let me consider some variables here. So, quite. I don't think quite would suffer from the absurdity debuff. However, quite does not have any proof of skill via tournaments or achievements in that way that I know of. So I think 10 rounds. I think 10 rounds. Not for a lack of not for like not what's the word? What am I trying to look for here? 10 rounds purely because I'm too unsure to say. I'm too the air's a bit too foggy to say for sure right now. I wouldn't say there'd be anything to really say for sure. Also, Bossy, welcome. Hello, hello. Johnny Blocks. Yeah. I think Johnny Blocks. Oh, should I be mean? I could be mean. I could be mean. He did call me a bot when we played Dead by Daylight. I know he meant it as a compliment because the bots in DBD have wall hacks. But he called me a bot. Okay, yeah. He did call me a bot. Johnny the Night Guard. Pretty good DVD action, honestly. For how many hours he's got in DVD, not too bad. Not too bad. I'd give him 10. I'd give him 10. Absolutely, I'd give him 10. Jerikai, the Vegemite ambassador. The one who will defend Vegemite until the very end. Now here's the issue. Here's the predicament, and I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to decide this one, okay? I'm gonna face you guys with the situation. Decide Jerikai's fate. Vegemite ambassador debuff or Australian buff. Because we have both got defending a terrible product as a debuff, because that's corny, but Australian, which is a buff. So which course do we follow? Which path do we choose? Which path do we choose? Currently we got 4 for Australian buff and 2 for Vegemite ambassador debuff. I think that because he likes such a crap product, it makes him stronger. I can see that. I can see that. I can understand that. What do we think? Oh, Vegemite ambassador debuff coming in strong. Death to Vegemite. But you know, the question comes into play that is he strong because he likes the product, or weak because he has to bend to Australian stereotypes? Literally, last call I was in with him, he claimed his neighbor was a kangaroo. Maybe he's too mentally weak to not be a part of the Australian stereotype. Maybe he's too scared to be different. Maybe that's why he so vehemently defends Vegemite. Ever consider that? Ever consider that? Maybe he's too scared to go against the current. I think we have our answer. I think we have our answer. Wouldn't you agree? I think we do. I think we have our answer. I think Jerikai goes down first. Yep. I think being the Vegemite ambassador was too much. It's too much. I can't stand it. Dingo. Or Jake. Jake did great in the tournament. Jake is my teammate. I love him. 50 rounds. Absolutely. No less than that. The British debuff does not apply. Proved himself. He proved himself to be greater than the British debuff could possibly cause. I'm Reese. I don't know them well enough. So 10 rounds. 10 rounds. Even Steven. Even Steven, 10 rounds. Oh, man. Hyperdroid? Big videos. Long videos. Lots of, what's the word? Lots of willpower needed to make 15,000 hour FNAF lore videos. So, I think 10 rounds. I think 10 rounds. GT Live, Ash GT Live, obviously don't know them too well. But their DBD performance was, not great. And that's all I got to go off of. I think it's first round. I think it's first round. That DBD performance, that was not good. That was not good. That entire team, everyone that was on Midnight Murderous for 5 gens, they're at risk. There's a risk there. There's a risk. Dusky? I think off vibes alone, the DBD debuff, true. I think 10 rounds. I think 10 rounds for Dusky, absolutely. 10 rounds off vibe. John FNAF, okay. Alright, listen. I made a realization a bit ago, okay? I want everyone to think back. Every single thing that I have done with John FNAF, he has won. Every single one. In the speedrun charity event, he won Security Breach by a landslide. In Sister Location, he won. And then in 5 gens, he barely played the game, and his team won. John FNAF might just make FNAF theories. But when it matters, and when it counts, he's there. I think we got our third contender. He's proven himself. He's proven himself beyond a shadow of a doubt. Frogger. Frogger's pretty good at the games he plays. I think 100 rounds. Frogger's strong. Joner, I hate her. First round. Not changing that. All right. Fact. Hate him too. Little less though. 10 rounds. The first round has consisted of people. You know what? No. I'm buffing GT Live up to 10 rounds. First round is people I'm mad at. So. That is the debuff of I don't like you right now. Loaf. I think the British debuff applies. I think the British debuff applies here. British debuff. They have no achievements to counter the British debuff so far. So I think the British debuff applies here. I'm so sorry. You haven't countered it. Both Connor and Dingo have countered the British debuff and made it to 50 rounds. But I think, British debuff goes under. I think British debuff. There we go. John Eclipsical. Solid. I think 10 rounds. I think top of 10 rounds. I think 10 rounds. I think makes it 10 rounds, maybe even 11. But then something goes wrong. I think a strategy comes into play they didn't expect. I think that's it. Easy speasy. I mean, 100 rounds. This guy speedruns literally every game. He's going to find a way to speedrun this too. He's going to beat all 100 rounds in like 5 minutes. But then it'll be like, but then the speedrun will end and he'll be like, where's my power source? Everyone knows Easy Speezy's power comes from the timer. It's literally his name. Or his profile is a timer. The second the timer's gone after the 100 speedrun, it's over. And no HELPY can hold them down implies infinite run, which is not a speedrun. So that doesn't work. So he will have a timer, and he will do amazing for that timer. But then once that timer's over, it's gone. 100 HELPY rounds percent. Exactly. You get it. I'm glad I'm not on this list. I'd just die. Matt from D and Design. Now, you guys probably don't know Matt. Maybe you do. If you watch D and Design, you will. But Matt is a fighting game champion. Hello, Mason. This is how many HELPYs can you guys fight? I gave you 50 rounds of 10 HELPYs. 500 HELPYs, you'd go down. I think that's what you'd do. I think that's what it'd be. That's what I gave you. But as for Matt. Matt is literally a fighting game champion. I think around 100. Absolutely. Without question. Noah demuted. Aren't HELPYs like metal? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Have you fought one yet? I don't know. Maybe they're squishy. Maybe they look like maybe they're like a foam metal where they're sprayed with like a metallic paint, but then they're like really squishy and you could like pop them. Maybe. Who knows, right? Who knows? Noah demuted. I think 10 rounds. Absolutely. DJ Sturf? I mean, we all know DJ Sturf. Crazy challenge runner. Does some nutty stuff. I think DJ Sturf gets a solid 50 rounds. 50 rounds is kind of like the excelling tier. You're not like insane, but you excel. You do good. You do a good job. Like, good fight, soldier. 100 rounds is you're gonna excel. Like, that is, like, you have proven yourself to handle business. Dawko. Now, Dawko, there's some conflicting things here. Because, as always, the ever so horrifying British debuff looms once again. The ever so horrifying British debuff looms once again. Has Dawko proven himself to overcome the British debuff? He has been 50-20. He has. He's done a lot of marathons. British debuff applies. Dawko's British? You wouldn't believe it. I know it's hard to believe. Yeah, Dawko is very afraid of buff HELPY. So, if they bring out the tank, I don't know how well that would go. I don't really know if that would go as well as we think it will. I think, you know what? Until someone brings up a good enough argument, I think it's a British debuff. Speaking of British, if they bring out the tank. Speaking of British, we got Mr. Game Theory here. I think the British debuff takes another victim. I can't think of a particular achievement that Dapper Mr. Thomas have. Not on top of all of that. On top of all of that. He was on Midnight Murderous in the 5 gens. And we all saw how that went. I think the British debuff applies. I think British debuff applies. Damian Lee. Big guy. He's a big guy. Very big guy. He'd be hard to take down. I think by that alone, 50 helpies. But he's a wrestling fan. But I don't know how good he actually be at wrestling. That's the question. So I think 50 helpies is good. He's big, hard to take down. But he's gonna be a bit slower. So I think he would last on attrition alone. Austin Daggs. Biggest military gear fan of all time. There is no doubt in my mind that the second that he walks in that arena, he's going to be in full military gear, 5 layers of Kevlar, multiple M4s on his back, at least 10 grenades on the belt, big gas mask for no reason. I think 100 helpies. No, wait. Back it up. We didn't think about the absurdity clause. We did not consider the absurdity clause. Austin would absolutely die of laughter. 50 rounds. The absurdity clause. It's always there. It looms. It looms. Absolutely die of laughter from the sheer thing of fighting helpies. Without question. Dan Seibert. Midnight Murderous clause. However, he's got a really, really good mustache. 10 rounds. Top of 10 rounds. Bottom of 50 rounds. Bottom of 50 rounds. Sist reacts. Now, here's my reasoning for Sist reacts. Sist reacts, you wouldn't believe it, reacts a lot. I don't think they would fight. I think they would find a way to climb out of the arena and escape, but not for the same reasons as Nipple Nick. They would climb out of the arena, get on the other side, get to the commentator's booth with me, and start reacting. That's what would happen. That's what would happen. Chupo. Chupo won with me on the DVD tournament. He won. However, he calls me stinky way too often. Chicken Ninja does some crazy challenges. I think like that earns him some merit. And was on Top Shelf. That's the Top Shelf buff right there. I think that's 100 rounds. That's the Top Shelf buff. Chicken Ninja will do good things. Great things, even. But let me just fact check quick. Okay. 10 days ago, but that upload schedule. Do we consider the upload schedule debuff? The upload schedule debuff. He would be like 4 minutes late to the fight. No. I'd say no. Okay. We'll preserve it for now. Chewy Dog was our killer. Did all right. I think 50 rounds for Chewy Dog. Absolutely. I think high 50 rounds. High 50 rounds. I think, for sure. High 50 rounds. 100%. Chazington. I think Chazington would do a good. I think he's got the build for it. However, the absurdity clause applies. There is no way on this beautiful green earth that Chazington would not find this hilarious. And that would weaken him. That would distract him. I think 10 rounds. I think 10 rounds. The other two people with the absurdity clause, Quinn and Austin. Quinn's a savage animal, and Austin would be military prepared out of his mind. I don't think Chaz would do either. I think Chaz would just fall to the absurdity clause. That's it. That's where it would end. Right there. Bonzi. Now, Bonzi's not British. But Italy is basically England if you think about it. So. Italy's basically England. Like, they're basically the same. So, you know, like, it works. Good point. Yeah, see? Like, they even look the same. Like, hold on. Look at this. England, right? England on a map. Look, it's long. Long. Like, literally, England, just do this. They're the same. They're the same. They might as well live in the same country. I don't think that's correct. They might as well live in the same country. Bat Spectre. Bat Spectre really likes Batman. I don't know. It's hard to believe. I know. I think 10 rounds. I think 10 rounds. High 10 rounds. High 10 rounds. I think right there. High 10 rounds. For sure. For sure. For sure. Absolutely, without question. I think Bat Spectre will put up a decent fight. But they would get a bit too into the role of Batman, you know? Like, might push himself a little too far. Maybe go for something that wasn't quite ready for. Just get way too into being Batman and then would suffer for it, I think. I think that's what it'd be it. Barney Goose. Not British. Proves himself in speedruns. And is good at DBD. That calls for a high round 100. That calls for a high round 100. That calls for it. I think that calls for it. Backseat. Oh, no. Oh, no. Now, Backseat might be the most British person I've ever met in my life. He might be the most British person I've ever met in my life. However, as chat brings up a very good point, he does break every game he touches. So I think he gets out. Not by climbing, by going up against the wall and just kind of, rubbing his face into it, just kind of like, jumping into it over and over, and then eventually, or like for you guys, he'd be like, right through, and he's out. He's gone. He might fall into the void, but he's out. I think that's it. Azazel. I think the same argument to be made for Quinn. The exact same argument. However, I don't think the absurdity clause would affect her near as much. I think that's round 100. Absolutely round 100. 100%. Now, okay, here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. These are some of the big hitters, all right? These two, package deal. Now, as we all know, Axie is not British. Axie is not British, as we've made very clear. However, now look at me, chat. I want you to come look at me. Look at me really close, all right? We're going to get right here. Come on. Right here. Get really close to me, all right? Right here. Get really close. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at my big blue eyes. Look at me. My headcanon says otherwise. My headcanon says otherwise. I headcanon that Axie is British. I headcanon it. I believe it to be true. Oh, man. Alright. Astral Spiff. The other David. David 2, as some would say. There's a few options here. Spiff does challenge runs. He's good at those. Spiff does speed runs. He's good at those too. His name is David. The David buff applies, and the Canadian buff also applies. With that being said, the Canadian buff also applies. Good to keep that in mind. Good to keep that in mind. The Canadian buff applies. So, we've got the David buff, the Canadian buff, does speedruns and challenges, won 5 gens at Freddy's. I think with all those buffs included, I think that's the way it is. I think that's the way it is. All of those buffs, like, at what point do the buffs make you immortal? Like, so we have 4 immortal fighters right now. We have Dapper Waffle JJK, just so free. We have Rage Monster Zach. We have the guy who's literally never lost. And we have Buff Central. Like, without those buffs, if his name was James and he lived in, like, Greenland, I'd probably put him at 50 rounds. David buff, up 1. Canadian buff, what can I say? I don't make the rules. I don't make the buffs. I don't make the buffs. So. I don't know what to tell you. I just feel like that's the answer. At first glance, it really looks like a friend tier list. I mean, I am friends with all these people. But this is more in how many helpies can they fight. Asher's. Asher's does have the Canadian buff. However, and let me present the argument. Let me present the argument. Hold on. 1 second. I didn't mean to zoom that in. Oh, hold on. I left that zoomed in. Hold on. I think we need to do a slight adjustment here. Hey guys, how are you? How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going good for you guys. We're a little close right now, but that's going to be okay. Alright. I'm going to make a few adjustments here. Okay. So, go to this quick. Do this. No. We're going to make a new scene. I'm not going to make a new scene. We're going to do this. You have a face and I'm looking at it? Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Then, I need my camera. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Well, I do need my camera, yes, but I need this camera. There we go. Much better. Okay. So, I need to upload an image. Hold on. There we go. All good. Because we're at crossroads right now. We're in a predicament that needs to be sorted out ASAP. And do you know how we're going to do that, chat? Do you know how we're going to sort out this abhorrent predicament? We're going to do something special. We're going to do something that no one ever imagined happening in the history of ever. We need to pull out our secret Mouska tool. Oh, why is it up there? Hold on. There we go. All better. We need to pull out a secret Mouska tool. Are you serious? That's okay. That'll work. That actually might help. Okay. This is gonna look horrendous, but whatever. Here we go. Where is it? There it is. Filters. Why is that not working? Oh, because it's the wrong color. That's why. There we go. Okay. All right, everyone. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Actually, I'm not ready. I lied to you. I'm a liar. We need this. There we go. Okay. Now we're ready. Now we're ready. Now we're prepared. All right, everyone. Court is now in session. Court is now in session for the defense of Asher's Canadian buff. Now, with me somewhere, right here, no, not here, right here, I have my witness, who will be on the stand, you can't see him really that well, he's here, I have my witness, and I have my court documents, in here somewhere, in this file, are my court documents. This is my court documents. Right in here is all the evidence of the crimes that Asher's YT has committed onto us and will be held accountable. The Canadian buff will not save her. No, it won't. It won't save him. It won't do it. Now, if I may. Alright, so. Why is it freaking out? Okay. Okay, hold on, this might be better. Okay, so. Okay, you know what? No. We need better music. Here we go. Okay, perfect. As per legal agreements decided when I thought they would be applied, Asher's YT is on trial for the treacherous act against humanity of liking Garden of Ban. I'm sorry. No. Oh. It says here, on the Garden of Ban 4 release date, they opted to play Garden of Ban 4 instead of Bloons Tower Defense 6. Now with me is our witness, Geraldo, from Bloons Tower Defense 6. He's heartbroken by this. He was traded for Sheriff Toadster, or whatever his freaking name is. And he's never been the same since. Now, also reading here in my court documents, right here, it says not only that, but when, in the off chance they play Dead by Daylight, they dare to play Nurse. Sorry. Order in the court. Order in the court. And not only that! Not only that! When they play Marvel Rivals, there's only one character that they play. Moon Knight! And Blade, but that doesn't count because my court documents don't say that. They play Moon Knight. I'm sorry, this is too much for me. On these trials, on these accounts, as judge, jury, and executioner, our legal system's really good. I sentence Asher's YT of the Asher's YT YouTube channel to death! Jury is adjourned. Ugh, I can't see that. Just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Hey guys. Alright. Enough of court. No more court drama today. We've had enough court drama. We've had enough suits today. Alright. I think that was important. Let's put this away. So even though the Canadian buff is very powerful, it's very, very powerful, it will not save you if you do such treacherous things to this world. Such as like Garten a Ban over Bloons Tower Defense 6. Unfathomable. Unfathomable. Anyways, Vano, my goat. No Canadian buff, no David buff, but they do cool stuff on YouTube. They do the jump scare Nuzlocke. That's cool. That's pretty funky. I think they would get a good 50 rounds in by creativity alone. I've never thought of someone doing a jump scare Nuzlocke. That's good. That's some good stuff. I like that. I like that. I'd think a solid 50 rounds for Vano. Absolutely. Solid 50 rounds. Next you're going to say they have an animated icon for Moon Knight. No, they do not. AJ. Best speedrunner I know. However, they're in New Zealand, which is not Australia. So does the Australia buff count? I don't think so. I could headcanon it, but I don't think I will. I think 100 rounds. I think 100 rounds near the middle. I think right there, just like that. 100 rounds. Then if you go more than 50 but less than 100, that makes sense? Yeah, so I think, okay, yeah. So like around the top of 50. You know, would do really well. Not quite 100, but yeah, you know. 3FS. Now, I think there's only one thing to say for 3FS as our final one here. That big forehead, that's going to deflect some blows. That's going to keep him alive for a bit. No Canadian buff. No David buff. Doesn't really do challenge runs, but is pretty alright at Dead by Daylight. So, with all that in mind, I think 3FS goes in solid 50 rounds. I think this is our tier list. Now, this gives us a chance. Now that we have organized it, this gives us a chance. Right here. To... Hold on. That is not adjusting very well. Can I, like, type it out? That'd be... Okay, whatever. It's fine. Okay, there we go. This gives us an opportunity to revise. Does anyone in the jury have issue with our judgments? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Would anyone in the jury like to make a disagreement? I will give it some time. Does anyone in the jury have disagreements? I say this looks right, yeah? Okay, okay. I have issue with Chicken Ninja not having his own tier. And what tier would that be? What be your suggestion? My evidence, AFK FNAF 3? Okay, that's a good argument. Let's do some field research. Is it this video? Because I was talking about this video. He did it without maintenance, and he did it without cameras.
Without the camera.
Okay. 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 Couldn't Phil disintegrate the Helpies? Wouldn't that make him unstoppable? What's your evidence for this claim? How could Phil disintegrate them? But for Chicken Ninja, I can agree with that. I think that is our 5th member of No Helpy can hold them down. Yes, the best RNG, yes. Yes. There is a fringe chance Wombu would sweep, extremely resilient to all forms of damage and likes freezing people, but most of the time, yeah, this is correct. Yeah. Okay. I think if there's one adjustment I had to make to this, if any, is this. I think it would happen. I think that would happen. Yeah. I think that would absolutely happen. Not only that, I think there's one more person here that would 100% switch sides. Without question. And I think that is Squeeze the Quarter Guy. I think absolutely would switch teams. Without question. Also, we're going to adjust this to death penalty. There we go. I think these 4 would switch teams. Absolutely, without question. All right. I think that concludes the tier list. This looks pretty solid to me. Well, actually, before we do that, we should decide on who is the strongest in their tier. Who is the strongest member of each tier? Who would have the most success in their goal? You have one more problem? What is it? What is it, member of the jury? What is it? I don't think the person at the bottom should die, but I think they have 100 years of Widowmaker. 100 years of Widowmaker. Playing Overwatch is a pretty good sentence. I won't lie. But Widowmaker, after 100 years of Widowmaker, that would become enjoyable because Widowmaker is actually very strong. I disagree. Overruled. Oh, Black Widow. Oh, I see. In that case. I will sustain that with the side note. John is not making 100 rounds of Helpies. No, he absolutely is. Okay, Smith, here is my argument, right? I thought about it. I was thinking about this when I was making this tier list, and I realized something. In every competition that I have put John in, he has won. He won both of his speedruns in our tournament, like our speedrun tournament, and he was on the winning team in 5 gens. He has not lost a tournament yet. I think that's pretty good. He's proven himself that when it comes down to it, he can pull through. He barely played DVD and he pulled through. I think he's got it. I think he would handle it. I certainly could Julian turn against us. Oh, totally. Like, absolutely. He would be cooked. He would get all the Helpies that played Guess Who against each other and then become best friends with them. Without question. Absolutely. But okay, so we got to figure out the strongest in each tier. Now, this is where I need the jury to lock in, all right? Who is the best in their field? Climbs out of the arena and escape. I don't think there's any disagreement that Nipple Nick is the king of that. I don't think there is any disagreement that Nipple Nick is the absolute best at climbing out of the arena and escaping. For whatever his reasons may be, I think he's going to be the best at it, without question. Tries to loop the Helpies. The Hens. Duh. Now switches teams and leads the Helpies. Who would be the best leader of the Helpies? Who would be the best, strongest leader of the Helpies? Julian? You think Julian? I think it is between Julian and Phil. It is between these two. But I am leaning towards Julian. Because Julian is just so dang likable. He's just so likable. What's the jury's consensus? What does the jury have to say? Julian's still on top? I think so too. I think so too. Absolutely. Far too many damage? I think Wampa's alone in that. I don't think anyone goes down to that. Alright. British debuff. Who here has the least amount of debuff? So, let's go back over the arguments, okay? Exploding Loaf just simply has not proven himself to defeat the British debuff. Dawko, even though he's done some accomplishments, is just so British. I don't know if he beats it. Dapper Mr. Tom, same thing as Loaf. Bonzi is Italian, which is basically British, so, you know, it works out. And Axie, Milk and Microwave, combo package, I headcanon Axie's British. So, I think in that case, that makes the strongest British Dawko. And the weakest British, Bonzi. So I think, or no, wait, hold on. No, he'd be up. Dawko would be here. Bonzi would be here. There we go. I think Dawko was the strongest British here. Absolutely. At least British with the British debuff. Are you saying those with thick British accents are above everyone else? Sure. Sure. Why not? All right. First round down and out. This is a tier for people that have made me mad. So who's made me the least mad? This one's not as much on the jury. I think the Vegemite Ambassador is definitely, because this is not a personal offense. So I think they are the highest one here. The lowest, I just really don't like Joner. So, you know, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Okay. Does all right. Now, jury. Ugh. Jury, lock in. Lock in, jury. Lock in. All right? Lock in. Who is the strongest in 10 rounds of Helpies? We have Chazington, John Eclipsical, Walug, Tetrabit, Bat Spectre, Random Stuff Gaming or RSG, Underscore, Ordinarily Average, Narrow Raven, Quite, Johnny the Night Guard, I Am Reese, Hyperdroid, Glamrock Dusky, Fact Attack, Ash GT Live, and Noah Demuted. Out of all of those, what? How many did I mixed up my fingers? 4, 7. Out of those 17 people, who is the strongest? Tetrabit has proved himself before? Okay. Tetra. Okay, I'm seeing some votes for Tetra here. Are there any other says? John and Tetra? Okay. Looking good for them right now. So 2 votes for Tetra. 1 vote for John. Okay. Any others? Any other opinion from the jury? This might be all we're getting. Okay. Okay, that looks like that's sorted. Solid 50 rounds. This is the middle of the pack. These guys do good. They do good. We have 3FS, Unique Geese, Vano, Connor, Vonnie, Chewy Dog, Ellie, Rytoast, Quinn, Minaxa, Micaiah, Dingo, DJ Sturf, Damian Lee, Austin, and Dan Seibert. Does this tournament allow summons? No, I would not say so. No. No, it is just them. Because if it allowed summons, Rytos would absolutely have the family buff. And I think that would buff a few people, so no. No family buff. Out of those people, who is the strongest of the 50 round tier? Who is the absolute strongest? Because my vote is currently, if I had to say anyone here is the strongest in this tier, it would be either Austin, 3FS, or Connor. I think these three are the contenders right now. Vano. Okay. Okay, we'll bring Vano up. Any other votes from the jury? Unique Geese? Okay, he's already here. I know the guy with the gold hair has played Jump Force. Chewy Dog? Makes him pretty strong. Yep, no one wants to play that game, so that's goodwill. That's goodwill. Yep, we'll bring him up. One of those literally British flag in the background of their PFP. Yes, I know, but he's such a good DVD teammate that he defeats the British debuff. He defeats the British debuff. Okay. So, we've got vote for Mason, vote for Vano, and these are my votes. Is there anyone have to make the final vote? Do you know what we'll do? We'll do this. We have a top 5. We'll do this. Who is the strongest of B tier? Is it 3FS, Dags, Connor, Vano, or Mason? Who is the strongest of B tier? Who has proven themselves to be the strongest? Go vote on the poll. I'm gonna make myself big again for a second. There we go. Okay, so we'll check this one. Perfect. Alright. Who is the strongest? Right now we have a vote for Dags, Connor, and Mason. Okay, okay. So let's adjust the board as so. Oh, 3 votes for Connor! That's looking good. That's looking good. Dags and Mason are all up. There we go. There we go. Okay, okay. 2 votes for Mason. That brings Mason up. This is looking like Connor might win here. Unless Mason pulls through. Mason could pull through. That'd be kind of crazy. My ability to remember names is awful, so I can't remember who half these people are, but Connor's a strong name. Connor is got the crazy kick that sent a little guy across a field. So I think that is pretty strong. Okay. Here, for reference. For reference. We'll bring up each of their channels. So first, we have Dags. I'm sure all of you know Dags very well. This guy. He does these kind of videos. That's Dags. Then, Compound Zebra, who his actual evidence is on my channel, actually. Let me bring up his evidence quick. The vote will end, that's okay. This is Connor's evidence. Solid kick. Solid kick, right? Pretty solid kick. There was another one here somewhere. Where was it? Maybe not? You're on like 70, 80? I think.
Cool.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Believe the disrespect.
Look at this. Ready? Does it again.
Kick him again.
That's even farther. That was even farther. Like, that's good. Now, for the others, who else is in there? Vano. I mean, we all know Vano. We all know Vano. We all know Vano. Solid. Solid. Solid, right? Unique Geese, creator of Indigo Park. Of course, of course. And then, finally, 3FS, funny forehead guy. Yeah, there you go. Funny forehead guy. Alright. So, looks like the vote is pretty solid. Looks pretty unchanging. Connor looks to be the strongest. Followed by Mason. Followed by Dags. Then Vano. Those are the top 5. Okay, solid, solid, solid. Thoughts of round 100. This one I think will be easier. We have Barney. Sir 55. Razbowski. Oh yeah. Supas. AJ. Snaspy. Plenty. Mainans. Frogger. Easy Speezy. Matt D and Design. Azazel. And Partly Cloudy. Yeah, I think any speedrunners in this group immediately get sent to the top. Because at this point, you need to be efficient. So, you're a challenge runner, you count. I think this is the group right here. Barney, Easy Speezy, Partly Cloudy, AJ, and Frogger. The one with the CLPFP would definitely be the strongest. I'd vote for Supas. Okay, we'll bring him up. We'll bring him up. We'll bring him up. Easy Speezy takes first place purely because he just killed the Helpies so quickly. I think that's good, yeah. He's dedicated. My vote's on Cloudy. Okay, we got votes for those two. Okay, okay. Okay, so then in that case, we will poll this. We'll poll this. The strongest of A tier. Is it Easy Speezy, based on your guys' vote, Cloudy, or, on my word alone, AJ, who is very good at mini games? Who is the strongest of A tier? Is it Speezy, Cloudy, or AJ? Speezy and Cloudy are, okay, Cloudy's winning. Cloudy's winning so far. Cloudy needs this for his dying wife that does not exist. You know, true. That's true. I think it'd be good for him to win. Make him feel better. Cloudy. Yeah, it's looking like Cloudy's winning right now. It looks like Cloudy's taking the dub here. Money's on Frogger. I think Frogger's strong, but I don't know if he quite matches up to the rest of them. Cloudy beat 50-20 while high, so his experience beating multiple animatronics will having absurd circumstances. You know, I can get with that. I can get with that. I think Cloudy's the strongest of that tier. I think it's the strongest. All right, we can leave that. We can leave that tier up. I need everyone locked in for this. All right, can everyone confirm they're locked in? I need confirmations from the jury, because this is the big one. This is the big one. All right, so, no, I think we need some dramatic music. Don't you agree? Hold on, hey guys, don't you think we need some dramatic music? That's not dramatic enough. Okay, here we go. This is good. This is good. Here we go. All right, everyone. The top 5! Based on buffs, on aggression, on skill, on patience, on luck, on proof of the capability, on being Canadian and being named David. Who is the strongest of them all? Who is the most powerful? Go, let's cover it. Dapper Waffle, who's completed a bajillion FNAF World challenges up until the point of literally doing nothing and winning. We have Zach, who is my own personal vote because bro is just so cruel. You have John FNAF, who has never lost a tournament that I have hosted ever. We have Spiff, who rides it on doing challenge runs, but also having 2 buffs. That's pretty good. 2 buffs is good. And then we have Chicken Ninja on the vote of chat. Who is the strongest one? We are going to order them. Let's bring up the final poll. Who is the strongest? Hold on. Just for the video. Who is the strongest besides Satoru Gojo? Is it the Dapper Waffle, Pastra, John FNAF, Astral Spiff, or Chicken Ninja 42? Allow additional votes. Use your DVDs to prove your point. Who is the strongest? Who is the strongest? Make your voice heard. Who is it? We have 29 votes to Pasta right now. 21 votes to Chicken Ninja. 27 to Spiff. Only 2 and 1 to Daproff, and John FNAF being left in the dust behind the competition. Astral Spiff pulling ahead with 50 to 44. 38 on Chicken Ninja. 44 on Pastra. We're only a third into the vote so far. 68 to Spiff. 69 to Spiff. Nice. 50 to Pastra. 55 to Chicken Ninja. It's still looking relatively close. It could change at any moment. 62 to Chicken Ninja, 64 Chicken Ninja, 81 on Spiff, 76 on Zach. Zach is catching up fast. 92 to Spiff. Who's gonna hit 100 first? Spiff at 100 votes right now. 106 to Pastra! Pastra's barely both pulling ahead! It looks like it is between Spiff and Pastra now, with Chicken Ninja being left at 6-7 points. Nice, that's good. It is between Pastra and Spiff right now, with only a third left of the vote. Spiff barely pulling ahead, but just a few points. Oh, the gap is widening. Oh, Zach gets a few more points. Zach up to 126. Almost pulling ahead. It's coming down to the wire. Zach takes the lead by only 2. Zach still ahead with just a few points. It comes down to the final, like, 1/8 of the vote, with Spiff pulling ahead again at 161, 166, 1 point ahead of Zach. Who will finish this out? 172 for Zach as the last seconds tick down. 177 to Zach, 178 to Spiff, 177 to Zach, and it will change to 186 for Zach, and Zach wins by 2 points, making him the strongest. And the order being Zach, then Spiff, then Chicken Ninja, then John FNAF, and then Dapper Waffle. Well done, well done. This is the order of the strongest FNAF YouTubers and other ones that I decided are in here. Okay, okay. I think Chicken should get extra points for the vote being 69. That's a good reason. That was good, that was good, that was good, that was solid. All right. I think that is our complete list. I don't think it gets more complete than this. I don't think it gets more complete than this. I think this is perfect. I think this describes everything perfectly, honestly. Spent all my copies of Scream 4 at Astral Spiff, close call. You got him second. That's good, that's good. All right, okay. I think that's good for today. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go. All right, everyone. Short stream today, like I said. Wasn't gonna be a crazy one today. I got some stuff to do today, as we've talked about. But I will send you guys over We don't have any, unfortunately, none of the winners are live currently. I don't think half of them stream at all, really. The only one that streams is Spiff. So I will send you guys over to Puffalope. Because Puffalope is live right now. Alright. Go say hi to Puff, and I will see you guys tomorrow for DBD Jeopardy with Puff, and Hens, and 7 Centimeter Princess, and then we're also doing Fast Food Sim for something very fun tomorrow, so be ready for that. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.